for race wise, like.
Yeah.
So you want to take us through that?
So yeah, I mean, it's a great example, Derek, of what you're saying, which is, like, usually arts and culture starts off in this very diverse and open
Yeah,
way, where it's not very well defined. I can argue that a lot of like, a lot of music acts, start off, creatively, like, hey, and then nowadays we're in this stage where a lot of bands that play don't really know what genre of music they are,
yeah,
but
they're
for some
just
reason it
yeah,
really matters because
yeah,
you need that to market your music. So that's a whole other issue. But in the case of like music that started off as a kind of open thing and then it slowly gets more ethnocentricized, or
yeah,
the word I would use is homogenized. So
yeah, yeah,
we start off with a kind of heterogeneous approach to music. So think about
yeah,
P. Ramlee, his music in the 50s and 60s, when Malaysia technically was about to form. It didn't really exist.
yeah,
Singapore was still part of Malaysia. He's making music in Singapore. He's combining Malay Asli rhythms with bossa nova, with beguines, with Latin American music. He's got a little bit of jazz in there. He's got some saxophones. He's got some violins. He's got some joget going on. And every song he makes for every movie has a different vibe, has a different genre, and at the same time, it has a kind of a sense of unity to it, a
yeah.
distinction to it
There,
that is his sound, right?
there was certainly a local sound that he had, like there was
Yeah, and
distinctly,
that local sound came from so many, so a lot of
yeah,
one of the main sources was the Bangsawan Theatre.
yeah,
And Bangsawan Theatre was a form of musical opera that was performed very popular in the Malay world, but it also has its roots to South Asia, to
okay,
India and to Persia. It was used to be called Parsi theatre, and it has different variations in Java, depending on the language that you speak. And but whatever it was very eclectic. It combined different musics, and it of course it used music that the people of the spaces, the locals, were interested to hear. And
yeah,
there's this nice kind of mix of, you want to give people something that they're familiar with, but you also want to entice them with something that they're not so familiar with.
yeah,
You want to give them that little edge, the little difference. And I think that's what P. Ramlee and his contemporaries kind of did in the film era, is that um, they gave music that sounded familiar to Malay speaking kind of population. So this was music that was traditional or local to the area, to the region. But there was also this like other Western, Latin American, and other cosmopolitan elements of that music that would make it, or modern elements that made people say, oh, this is fresh, this is something new. You see, and then the problem then is, now when we listen to it retrospectively, the ethno-nationalists, the people who really need to have a sense of racial identity,
yeah,
and that's the be all and one all kind of thing, and then they applied that to music, which is very wrong. Like, it
yeah,
really doesn't work well. Then they try to say, oh, P. Ramlee is a Malaysian artist. He's a Malay artist. Look how
yeah,
Malay his music is.
yeah.
And that is a completely bullshit.
With no
Yeah.
context, they don't have the context of
Yeah,
how,
it's
where.
complete
Yeah.
bullshit, but it serves
Yeah.
their ends. It serves their
Yeah.
ends to have an icon that fits their agenda.
Well,
So I
Yeah.
mean, I think there's a great opportunity for me to not be an academic. I don't have to be so polite, right? Like,
yeah,
if you're
Yeah.
saying that about P. Ramlee, that's bullshit, man. I call bullshit.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if you want to have a talk with me, we can.
yeah.
Yeah. They hijacked Five Ramli, man.
But
Nothing else.
But I mean,
anybody
hard to
try to
say,
push.
because P. Ramlee would have done the same thing. Like, I mean, he also hijacked his own music. So
That's
he, in
true
the
as well.
70s, when people weren't listening to his music, he was like, we got to uphold traditional Malaysian music. We got to
That's
go
true.
back to the Asli stuff. If not, all these
Yeah.
kids are listening to Hindustani music. They're listening to pot smoking Beatles music. They
Yeah.
got long hair and stuff and mini skirts. We got to get them to listen to traditional music. So P. Ramlee was
Yeah.
also kind of like a victim, or he was also playing into that towards the end of his
Yeah.
life. But
Do you think that
we
was
don't
more?
know, is that
Do you?
is that what he did because that was the times? Did he do that because he was feeling left out? Did he do that to get
Because
attention?
pure Ramley
Yeah.
eventually ended up like broken, fucking like in a popper. Like, do you think there's a he was trying to do that to just to stay relevant? Like,
That's also debatable, Derek. I mean, that's kind of like the narrative that people like to hear,
yeah,
is
Yeah.
this artist that crashes and burns, right?
yeah,
In the end. But
yeah,
Yeah.
if you read Lat's biography, there's a really cool chapter where he actually visits P. Ramlee in the 70s, just before he dies. And the man is like, he's got jam sessions going on in his house in Jalan Dedap, in KL, in Gombak. He's got jam sessions going on. He's like meeting Lat, a young reporter, and giving him a little, giving him his 2 cents. And then after that, okay, kid, we're done. Okay, now it's time. My band is coming in, and we're gonna have a jam session now. So it's like, like, I don't know. I mean, was he poorer than he was when he was in Singapore? Yeah, but was he down and out?
Because that's
No,
People like to play on that, right? They like the image,
they love to
the
play on
image
that,
of the image of the overweight Piramli. He's like
yeah,
that,
that's
right?
the
Like,
that is the
that
that's the
classic
legend
image.
that's the
Yeah.
legend that's the legend that I was taught, that Pierre Ramley died as a pauper, or died and out, ignored by the people who used to love him. Like, so
that's an easy story, right? That's an easy story. It fits really well into any dramatic narrative. So that's what I talk about. I try to dispel that myth.
good.
And then it also serves, a certain, when you create that myth, then it serves for the ethno-nationalists to be like, see, this is why we got to preserve our cultural heritage.
Yeah, because of
People
Pierre.
like this.
Yeah, because if Pierre Ramley can be left by the
Yeah.
wayside, anybody can be left by the wayside, because he created it, essentially created like that whole scene. Like, so yeah, like,
And then what ends up happening is that the only model for that, for national music icon, is P. Ramlee.
yeah.
So everyone is being compared to that.
Yeah.
And then they say, oh, there is no other P. Ramlee. So what?
Yeah, exactly.
P.
Yeah.
Ramlee, we need another Azmil, we need another Bruce. We need another Derek Rush. We don't need P. Ramlee. We need new people.
Yeah,
You
that's
see,
true.
that's the problem.
No, yeah, that's true. Like, there's like the young will always usurp the old and create something new, and that's not a bad thing. Like,
The old will always be anxious. There's all this anxiety about the new
Yeah.
generation. I'm sure we are about our about our younger generation.
Yeah, we're like, what the fuck's TikTok, man?
I'm sure you and Asmil even more with children.
We are.
Yeah, who knows what they're gonna have, man?
Yeah, I know. I feel like we'll never know, right? Because as that older generation, you will never know what will be the next thing, and you'll never know how much you won't like it.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
But
That's true.
can we keep an open mind about it? I think we can. I think the attitude has to change. I think this
Yeah.
whole drive towards purity is the problem.
like,
When
I
people
see-
have these ideas like, we got to be pure, we got to maintain our values. Hey, you guys watch TV, right? So I was recently, you guys watch Netflix, right? I was recently
Yeah.
watching Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh,
I
wanna
watch that
start
as
it.
well. Watch that as well.
that good?
Yeah, watch that as
It-
well.
haven't
it's
seen
kind of
that.
like, it's all about this. It's about this intergenerational tensions,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
happen,
yeah.
and how values change over time and shit like that.
The
So,
girls.
Okay,
do-
let's stop and watch an episode right now.
The girls are arseholes. The girls are arseholes in that though.
No, I haven't seen any. Yeah.
The daughters.
no, Azmil is anti Netflix.
No, I'm not anti-Netflix. I finally watched Netflix. A friend gave me his account because he's like, "You haven't watched, dude? Here's my password. Watch it."
Nice.
Wait,
But I
why are
ended
you
up- I
anti
didn't-
Netflix, Asmil?
Not anti-Netflix. I ended up watching just all the old movies that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
It's like,
The daughters,
I
though,
don't-
the
I don't-
daughters, though, in Jupiter's Legacy are assholes, asshole daughters. I mean, they're really,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
awful human beings, like just fucking spoiled brats. You just want to,
is that like a series or what?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a superhero series, like, but as Adil says, it's a whole about intergenerational, like inter-conflicts and stuff like that. There about like responsibilities and like growing up.
I just saw Ip Man yesterday for the
Ooh,
first time.
nice. Your first
Oh,
time
Iman, the first one.
First
first
time
Ip
I'm
Man.
watching. Yeah. First time.
Classic. No, that's the danger of Netflix. I mean, I don't do series because then you gotta come back and watch. I only watch, like Adil gave me you gave me a thumb drive of what's that,
The
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
It's
I haven't seen it yet.
way after it was.
Try to stay
way
away from
after
Star
it's
Trek
like-
and Star Wars as much as I can.
Oh yeah, you're a Trekkie, right, Derek?
No, I'm nothing. No, hold on. If I was anything like like I've seen loads of Star Trek previously and more because Marina's a huge Trekkie, but the only kind of sci-fi series I ever got into hardcore was Stargate SG-1, which I loved.
Oh,
Oh
nice.
man, that was a while ago.
But I love Stargate. Like Richard Dean Anderson, you got MacGyver in it. Like
Richard
what the
Dean
hell else?
Anderson, yeah.
Oh, you mean the
I'm a
movie
big
lah?
fan, like-
I love
No,
the
no,
movie.
I like the
No,
movie,
no,
but
the
TV
series.
The TV series.
There's a
Oh, I
TV
never saw the
series as
series.
well.
You've
I
never
didn't
seen it.
follow.
Richard Dean
Oh,
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow. Okay.
it's a
Oh,
long-
so MacGyver was in it also.
Yeah.
He was in
Yeah.
it also.
It's the longest
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
It's the longest run. It was the longest run sci-fi series of all time. It ran for about 11 years. Like, but
I
it was
used to
really
watch
good.
it every week. with the
Yeah,
family.
it used to be on TV3, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Love
I
Star
think
Game.
by